Hello, it is a cousin, and I am back with the first beer of the year, and I have a box.
I get a kick out of brew.
Yeah, I have a box, and that is for a separate video. I think in one of the previous beer tastings we did, I had another box, and I am recording those, and those will be released soon. So we are back for another beer tasting video, and it is the first beer of the year, 2nd of January. This should be going out when it's like right after it's been recorded. So yeah, I am here to kick off the year with a beer, the first beer of the year, and it is actually the first beer I've drank this year because yeah, I didn't drink one yesterday. So I know I say that like it's a big achievement. But not only that, tomorrow I am going to be at Brewdog Wandsworth with Jada Ashley Spencer, because apparently there's a £1 pizza burger deal. So we're going to eat a lot of pizza, a lot of burgers, and a lot of beers. So yeah, back to the beers. Well, the beer that we're doing right now. So I think before I did the Perla Mochna, I think it was called. Really nice beer, might I just say. I did one which I called the Skoda beer, which was this one. And I got that when I was going to get the beer I'm going to do now. So yeah, we are doing that beer which I was talking about. The Perla was pretty much an unfinished side quest, which we're done with. That concluded 2025, and we are starting 2026 with Kelt. I know. I'm excited. I don't know what it says there because I have not really looked at this. All I know about it is it's called Kelt. I think it's going to be either Polish or Russian, looking at the fact that it says Pivo, so I'm going to guess more Polish. I mean, they tend to be more Polish than Russian. Sometimes even Serbian, but it's got this like Viking helmet on it, which you can see there. And yeah, I knew this would be a special one. I'm hoping it will be a special one. But then I'm also getting Kazel vibes from this, and Kazel wasn't the best. That was very underwhelming. So it says here, Kelt, Objawi sebi Kelta, Svetli Pivo, Vikapna Desiatka. I think I've heard Svetli before. It could have been the name of a beer. I think it was the name of the Slovakian one. And I know pivo to be the Polish word for beer, but I think that also extends to Russian. That's how I first heard it, actually, from the Russian word pivo. Maybe Czech and Slovakian and a few other languages. So, oh wow, this is 10%. That explains why it was £2.69 in the shop. So it says here, Kelt 10%, and then loads of other stuff. And I'm not actually seeing a country's name on here. Oh, Heineken Slovensko AS. So I think this is Slovakian, and it's by a company which I think we've done. Slovensko, I think I've heard that name before as well. Obviously owned by Heineken. Yeah. There you go. There you have it. Kelt. What am I giving its design? Well, before I give it my rating, I'm going to give you a 360. So, looking at the main bit of the bottle here, it says Kelt and stuff here which I'm not going to read except for Svetli Pivo, which I know it says there, and it's got this really cool, what looks like a Viking. Actually, no, that's not a Viking helmet because it's got the shorter horns, but this is something along those lines. What I'm trying to say is it's really cool. It's got this, what even is that color? Like a creamy beige. It gives it a really classic look, and then the helmet matches that, but then it's got this red and green diamond which adds a bit of color to it, but not so much that it's distracting from the rest of the bottle, although there isn't much on it because you spin it round and there's nothing to see. You've got neck seal, which is pretty much the same thing, and then that's just got all the boring shit on the back, and then you can see the helmet is on the bottle cap. That is a very nice bottle cap. Looking forward to adding that one to the collection. So, with my new bottle opener, and I really don't want to crack this one open. This is nice and cold, but then it's freezing outside. Like the new year has just brought the cold. I swear, when it turned January, the temperature dropped rapidly. So there's that really nice bottle cap. And oh yeah, I'm supposed to rate it before I open it and try it. So what would I rate this? I'm gonna be honest. It's a 5. It just looks classic. Like I like that. That is a beer. That is a medieval looking beer, and I like it. I like seeing medieval stuff on beers. I like that old school look. Yeah, it's a bit cliche, but it just works. Like you feel like you're drinking something that's classic, and the classic ones tend to be the not actually no, not always. That's I can't really say that considering me and Joe love going Brewdog and trying all their new ones, but when it comes to the beers, if you know what I mean, well, they're more creative beers and other stuff that tastes good. But this, when it comes to beers, I do like an old school one. So this is supposedly 10%. No, it's not. It's 3.9%. I don't like why they do this. So yeah, it says Kelt 10%, which makes me think it's 10%. And then in really small writing underneath, it says Alk 3.9%. They call their drinks like the Cazelle 10 and I think the Skoda beer was one that had a percentage as part of its name. I really don't like when they do that. It's misleading. I'm downgrading it. No, 3.9 though, so it's not gonna. It might not taste as good. Yeah, that does taste pretty light. It tastes like a good beer, just a very light good beer. It's not a bad taste. Yeah, just incredibly light. I don't like that. But for a light beer, it does have flavour. It does have taste. It tastes like it's got volume to it and strength. But yeah, it does also taste watered down. There's a lot of potential for this to be a better beer. And what I've noticed with these, it must have been the Skoda beer. Oh, did I do another one? I don't know. But, oh, it could have been the Perla actually. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of them where they'll have a brand of beer and it's like, let's use this one for example, Kelt 10%, then Kelt 20%, and then Kelt 50%. Obviously, each one is stronger, but the percent isn't actually the percentage of the alcohol. That's what I don't like because it's misleading. But I feel like whatever the stronger one of this is a really good beer from what I'm tasting here, if that makes sense. This has got a very bassy beer, nice taste. So even though it's light, a bit lighter for my liking, I can't actually give it a low rating. Like that is way above a 3. I would actually give that a 4, potentially a 4.5. But I've been conditioned by beer tasting to want the more hardcore beers. Don't ask me what the fuck that was all about. I can't even say the beer's got to my head because it really hasn't. It is actually really nice and refreshing though. I think the last drink I had before this was Erdinger, which is one of my favourite beers. That wasn't a beer tasting, obviously. That was me choosing a beer I liked from the shop and drinking it. That was on Boxing Day. So, yeah. But despite its light taste, that is really nice. I'd probably give that a 4.5. The reason it's lacking 0.5 is because it's just a bit too weak. But I think that's a good all-round beer, and a lot of new beer drinkers are probably going to like this. I feel this could appeal to a wide audience. So yeah, giving it a 5 on design, a 4.5 on taste. I think 4.5 overall is appropriate. Just because when I look at the design, I expect it to be a bit more stronger in volume. Yeah, I feel like the more you do something like this, the more accustomed you get to the stronger taste. Especially like me and Joe, I think we done, was it 21%? It was a Poker Face, I think it was called, a a Brewdog one, which was really weird because it had like this rubbery lid. I think it's at the end of our last Brewdog video. I'll put that there. And it's right at the end when we're looking at the drinks they've got there. And they had that cool Godzilla one, so maybe me and him will get that tomorrow. But yeah, 4.5. Is it recommendable? Yes. Is it nice? It is really nice. I just feel like it could have been a little bit stronger, but that's the only criticism I've got. Really nice design. Has got a really nice taste, and you know, we did a lot of light ones where I just gave them 3s at best, and I felt like I was pushing it a bit. I wish I had the beers all there. But yeah, the ones that were in that sort of Siski, Zuba, the Green Perla, the Walker Classic, and the Cazelle, all those ones were 3s at best, and that I felt like I was pushing a bit. So this is above them, but then that could be because it's in a bottle. So yeah. Anyway, this has been The Cousin. I shall see you in the next one, which will probably be a Brewdog, not a Wing Wednesday, but a Brewdog video. Well, obviously not, it's a Saturday tomorrow. So until then, this has been The Cousin. Please like, subscribe, share, all that other shit. Grab a Kelt, enjoy it. Not the most hardcore thing you can drink, but still a good beer. And I do respect the fact that it tastes good for a 3.9%. It actually does have flavour, so cheers.
Hello, and this is Jada.